You are now listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast with your host, Safan. Transmission will commence momentarily.
How you doing, guys? This is the Highly Evolved Podcast. My name is Safan. You can find me on Twitter and Gap.ai. This is our weekly show called Week in Review to discuss what's going on in the past week and what will be going on in the following week. And just sit back and let's start the show. On the first news to start, we're going to talk about Joe Biden. He was everywhere in the news last week, big time, right? It turns out our Latina Democrats came out and accused of inappropriate behavior. And he was backing down and saying that it was nothing happened or stuff. Then later on, within a week, right, all these other women start coming out and start accusing him. Joe Biden he's in a big mess right now. So he's trying to bid for the Democratic nominations, but the way it's going out, it doesn't seem like it's going in a good direction, because all of a sudden after this Latina Democrat came out, a slew of other women start coming out. It's like the Brett Kavanaugh all over again, right? Women it's like the Me Too, and this proved that his party is not the same party. He realized that. He came out with an apology, somewhat half-ass apology video on social media, saying that, well, it's not really an apology, saying that he get it. He get it, the time has changed, right? But he didn't actually apologize. He said the time has changed. And he tried to understand it more or something like that. But at this moment, you can see the route the Democrat Party is going, right? They're attacking each other. They're splitting apart. Basically, there's far left and a moderate. That's the only Democrat that's out there. Far left and moderate. So it shows that the Democrat got no leadership. They're not even following their traditional leader, their old leader, you know, their own vice president. They're turning back on their own vice president. And it's just it's really unfortunate, because they're eating themselves alive. All right, that's what's going on this past week. Joe Biden. I mean, I went to full detail. I came out with many videos about Joe Biden and his dilemmas. And if you guys want to check it out, it's on my video list. But yeah, it shows you that the Democrat Party are splitting apart. There's no saving them. They're attacking themselves now. Far left. We'll get to another news about them, but let's go into another news. This happened like late last week, right? Like the 31st, right? Nipsey Hussle got died. I don't want to talk about Nipsey Hussle anymore, right? That's apparently what's on the news last week. The thing with Nipsey Hussle, I don't really agree what he said. I don't really like his music, all right? And people talk that he was in the process. Like, he's in the process. Why wasn't he doing this a long time ago? Why initially he came out with, his message of gangster rap, right? He cussed and all that stuff. That's, to me, my opinion about rap music is very. This is my opinion, right? I think it's from the beginning to now is very toxic right now, right? From the beginning in the 90s, 80s, it shows the real life, but even the Sugar Hill Gang, right? They wasn't really rapping about negative. They were really wasn't cussing and all that stuff. Until in the mid 90s, early 90s, the resurgence of gangster rap come out. After that, at that point, that's when it's getting really toxic, and then it grew up to this point. Back to Nipsey Hussle, yeah, he did. He's trying to open a store for his community, try to provide a job. But initially, he wasn't that kind of guy, right? Initially, he was rapping, cussing, all that stuff, promoting all these bad agendas. Right, and now people, just because he died, now people want to be sympathetic about him, right? They want to name a street after him. They're immortalizing him as like he's God or something. He's just a B-list rapper. He wasn't that big at all, right, guys? He was an underground rapper. He wasn't selling that much record, but after he died, his records skyrocketed to 5,000% or whatever it is. But yeah, that's what happened. I just don't. People just stop talking about him, right? There's been a theory going around that he faked his own death, and all these conspiracy theories. Just talk about him. Just don't talk about him. Ignore him, and he'll go away. All right? He's just another dead rapper. That's what he is, promoting the agenda, toxic agenda, all right? And all of a sudden, just because he died, people start start saying he's a good guy and all that stuff. I'm like, why wasn't this out before that? Huh? He was in the process of talking to the police chief. Why wasn't it out before that? Huh? Huh? And it's another black on black crime, which is unfortunate, right? People try talking about Black Lives Matter this, Black Lives Matter that, but it turned out that blacks are killing themselves at an alarming rate, right? How is it Black Lives Matter when it doesn't even matter to you guys? I'm not trying to be a racist, all right? It's just pure fact. I mean, you just look at it. Common sense. Like, you don't see white people going on a manhunt killing black people. It's black people doing dive-rights, killing each other, right? Of these unnecessary killings. And that's what happened. Enough of Nipsey Hussle, but I just got to cover it because that's been in the news. Another one that was in the news, the ISIS bride, she did an interview with Fox News, right? I talked about it in this video that she wasn't taking it seriously. She did an interview with Fox News. Somehow Fox News got a contact of her, right? She did an interview with them, and the way that she seemed like it seems like it's a joke to her. She's laughing, not taking it seriously. For what I mentioned this, kick her out. If she want to come back, she got to go in a military tribunal, charged with treason, right? And if she go in trial, she won't pass because she already betrayed America by saying all these stuff, saying Americans have to die and all that stuff. I'm sorry, but if you try to kill me, because I'm American, I identify as American. If you try to kill me, that's it. No forgiveness. I'm not forgiving you anything, all right? And that note, she's ridiculous. She's done. She's not coming back. She could eat grass with the Syrian ISIS, all right? I don't care. She's not coming back. She better not come back, right? After the things she put us through. Yeah, she's an American citizen, but you could be tried as a treasonous, right? But I hope she don't come back. Trump already made his decision. You're not coming back, all right? And she's waiting for a trial. I mean, I don't give her nothing. She don't deserve anything, right? All right, let's go back. Let's discuss about domestic policy, right? Domestic policy, what's going on? I seen this in the news about how people only think Hispanic people are crossing the borders, right? And crossing the borders, and that's not true because there's been in the news that Haitian and African are trying to get their travel visa to travel across Mexico to travel to our borders, all right? It's been in the news recently, right? So it's not just it's African from Cameroon, Congo, Algeria, and Sierra Leone. All these African, they're frustrated right now because Mexico's not giving them a travel visa to go travel the Mexican land, and they're pissed off right now. They're stuck in the Mexico southern borders, and yeah, and the media's not covering this. I've mentioned this before. The media's not covering this because it's not the type of agenda they try to portray on TV right now. All right, they're not trying to portray that African, Asian people are crossing the border because there's not benefit to their narrative. But right now, they just want the border to be like only Hispanic issue. It's not a Hispanic issue, right? It's a global issue. Everybody from the globe are coming to South America to sneak in through the U.S. border. That's what's happening, right? It's Chinese, Asian, all these people, right? There's even if people not people notice that in the desert, in Mexico desert, there's this kiosk, right? There's this kiosk that ring a bell to signal for border patrol if you're dying, right? And it's in 3 languages: it's English, Spanish, English, and then it's in Chinese, right? Why would a Chinese language be written on a kiosk in the Mexico desert? Because Chinese people are smuggling into America as well from the southern borders, right? They're not talking about this. They don't want to advertise about this, right? It don't benefit them within their narrative, all right? You look it up. You don't believe me, but that's what's in the news, all right? And Trump made us a visit to the southern borders, looking at the process of the wall, right? Which is the wall's going up. The wall's going up, right? And he got a plaque from the U.S. Border Patrol because they really appreciate him, right? They give out a statistic, right? That crime has depreciated big time, right? It's been lower down ever since the wall been built, right? It's several miles, 100 miles they already built the wall, right? So that the sheriff of the Border Patrol gave all these statistics that crime are reducing, apprehensions are reducing, right? And violent crime or assault are reduced due to the wall. Before it wasn't like that. There was no boundary, no barriers. Now there's a barrier. Now she made the distinction that the wall works, right? The wall works, and Donald Trump was right there, overviewing the whole situation in Calexico, Cali, Mexico. I can't say that word, but anyway, that's what happened this past week, and let's carry on. And on that note, Trump. We carry on with one more Trump news, right? Trump already made it that last week, or within this week, that he stated that if Mexico won't help us, we'll shut the border down, right? Not only that, he already said he already cut aid to Central America because they're not doing the part. Guatemala, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador. He cut them apart, and I endorse that. Right, just cut them off. They're not even help. Why are we giving out billions of dollars to a country that don't help us? It don't make sense. People, the liberal ones say it's counterproductive because they need the money for. I'm like, we've been giving them money and it still is like that. What the heck? They said it's counterproductive because that money helped them to navigate or circumvent the migrants. I'm like, bro, we've been giving them money for the past year and it's still like that. What the heck? That's insane to do the same thing over. I've been saying this, all right? It's the same thing over and over, and nothing's changed. America need to stop being insane about this, right? We've been giving out them AIDS all this time, and nothing works. It's time to cut them off, right? Cut them off completely, like a bad kid, like a parent cutting his bad kid. Like cut him off, and he'll survive on his own, and then learn from their mistakes, right? And Trump threatened Mexico that if they don't get the act straight, we're gonna close the border completely, ruin their economy. Well, yeah, we're not going to ruin our economy. We'll suffer a little bit, but not as much as going to be Mexico. Mexico thrive on our economy, all right? So right now what Mexico's doing, they're starting to apprehend. Open the door, starting to apprehend migrants now, slowing them down. And he better do a good job, too, because we're not taking this BS anymore. If anything, cut the borders, cut all the trade deals with Mexico. That's my opinion. But on segue to another news that happens, Chicago. There's a lot of news been happening in Chicago, guys. Chicago been through a lot of crap these days. Chicago been through a lot of crap, right? Chicago just got their election on Tuesday. All right, they elected a woman by the name of Lori Lightfoot. Is a lesbian black woman, right? And I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. I just don't think it's a good thing. You made another blunder again. All right, I'm sorry. This is gonna backfire on you, like Robin Mail, you electing Robin Mail. All right, you guys are too liberal. All right, Chicago, too liberal. Look at where you're at right now. Look at the crime rate is skyrocketing. All right, I don't think a woman have enough mental capacity to try to solve the situation. All right, if she ever solved the situation, stop the crime rate, make Chicago better, yeah, I give her props. But in my view, she hasn't begun anything yet, and I'm still reserved to my view. Right? Until she does something that's tangible. I don't want to say tangible. That's evident, self-evident that Chicago is in a better state. That crime rate is going down. Arrests, police, the relationship with police and county are better because right now Chicago PD, right? Chicago PD just voted no confidence on Kim Foxx, right? The Cook County Secretary of State. She just want her to resign. That's what happened in Chicago. Chicago's going to deep mess with it, and now they elected this black lesbian woman, all right, to run the city. I don't think it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be hell in a handbasket in Chicago, right? It's gonna be hell in a handbasket. It's no doubt about that. All right, I've been to Chicago, and it's very dangerous. And they elected this person, and not only that, on Chicago news again. Justice Smollett. I don't want to talk about Justice Smollett. He don't deserve any more publicity, but he's threatening the Chicago Police Department. If they go further on, try to sue them, or try to do anything else, demanding money, they want their money back. Basically, Chicago PD. They want the money back for all the investigation. So Justice Smollett lawyer threatened Chicago PD or Chicago that if they keep pushing this, want money, they're gonna sue for defamation, right? You know, I think Chicago PD should just go for it. Just demand the money back. Put Kim Foxx in the position, all right? Since she's the DA, put her in the position to defend Chicago. If she can't do it, she can't do it. Let's see it will come out, all right? What's the turnout? Kim Foxx dropped Jussie Smollett case. Now she had to defend it, to defend Chicago from Jussie Smollett. All right, let's do it. I want to see how this turned out. All right, she made the controversial decision to drop the charges. Now let's see her put her foot in her own mouth. Let's see, can she defend Chicago? All right, but I don't think, man. I want Chicago PD to go push on, try to get the money and let them sue. Just let them sue and see how Kim Foxx gonna support this dumpster fire right now. Chicago is a big dumpster fire. Let's admit what it is. It's a big dumpster fire. All right, let's get on back to immigration news. All right, what happened last week is that the Ninth Circuit Court deemed that Daca are not entitled to be enrolled in a state-run university because is the state-run university run on this thing called lawful rules. You have to be a lawful citizen to be in America. I mean, to be admitted to the university. When you look at DACA, it's not lawful, right? DACA does not make you lawful. DACA is just, did I say DAFA? I mean DACA. DACA is just an executive order telling the government to look the other way, to ignore DACA. Don't legitimize them. That's what it is. To tell them don't deport them, but they're not legal citizens as well. So by that terminology, you're still not legal, right? With you not being legal, you're not allowed to be admitted in the university system. All right, this is from the 11th Circuit. If you don't know what the 11th Circuit is, Florida or Georgia. All right, that's what the 11th Circuit is. And they try to get this. They try to sue the school board, and now the court just backfired them. They're not gonna go on, right? They're not gonna go on because if they push all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, well, you know what they can do? They can bring all the DACA issue, right? They're gonna bring all the DACA issue, right? And look at it, and they're gonna say, oh, you know what, guys? DACA is unconstitutional, right? You can't do this because you just can't, because the DACA is just tells you that you are exempt from being deported. They're not recognizing you as an American citizen by default. You're a legal immigrant and then by that term you have to be deported. All right, and that's why they're not going to push on to the Supreme Court, because it's going to backfire them. It's like shooting themselves on the foot. All right, so that's what in the news. The 11th Circuit Court denied DACA right to go to a public university because they're not considered as lawful citizens. All right, you have to be lawful to be admitted into a state-run university. But right now, university is so liberal; they just do anything right now. And Donald Trump is doing this thing that if you don't allow free speech, they're going to cut their funding. I think Donald Trump should do another executive order about university. Like, if you allow illegal immigrants in your school, you will not get any funding as well. It should be a lot of things tied to this. All right, so that's what happened in legal immigration. And the segue to another news about technology, 5G. Right, 5G just rolled out. This is another thing about Chicago. Right, 5G just has been rolled out by Verizon. Right, in Chicago and Minneapolis. Right. The reason why these places, because these places, they got poor education. Chicago got poor education, especially the South Side, because of their low IQ and all that stuff. Like Minneapolis, they got a lot of Somalis and liberals, right? These two cities are two liberal cities, and they're least likely to cause a disruption or complain about 5G technology. That's why they're implemented. They've been implemented on these two places. And when you look at the Somali population, I'm not making a racial thing here, right? It's data that said they've been known to have a low IQ among their population, less than 60, right? The score is less than 60 for IQ, and the Verizon's rolling out as 5G, which you don't know what 5G is. 5G is a way of transmitting data through millimeter technology. Millimeter technology is a technology that's used by the military to use it's like directed energy weapons, right? Directed energy weapons is when you aim a directed energy into a specific spot, and it burns. Yeah, that's burns or catch fire. Like, for instance, there's a rumor going on that the Paradise California fire was caused by directed energy weapons, right? That's why you see all those houses burned and trees is still standing up. It's crazy. But the symptom of directed energy weapon is like burning at the skin, burning, hallucination, feel nauseated. It's crazy. But that's what 5G technology is based on. It's a military weapon. That's what it is. It's a millimeter wave. This is why 5G need hundreds of transponders close to each other, because the downfall of 5G is that it emits a lot of data at once, but yet again it can only travel short distance. Radio wave it emits a little bit of data, but it could travel longer distance. That's the difference between radio wave. And they won't say it's radio wave. It's not radio wave. It's millimeter wave, right? Millimeter wave is like microwave. Same what it is. It's like a microwave, burning yourself internally. All right, so they're implementing this in Chicago. Verizon's rolling it out, and people are seeing 5G on the phone. You know, when you see a 5G logo on your phone, it's not really 5G. Is AT&T try to smoke screen you, try to get you used to 5G right now. Right, when you look at your iPhone, if it said 5GE, it's not really 5G. It's still running on the 4G network. It's just trying to condition you. It's just trying to condition you to get used to 5G right now. It said when you look at it, it said 5GE. It meant the E stands for evolution, 5G evolution. Okay, so if you see on your iPhone, because iPhone's not compatible with 5G right now. There's only one phone out there right now that's compatible with 5G, and that's the Motorola Z3. And even though you get the Motorola Z3, you still need an adapter for it, which costs $200. And that's the only way you could get 5G onto your phone right now, Motorola. Samsung will introduce their within the next quarter, but not yet. So right now, the only places that have 5G is Chicago. And to make things worse, on the 5G note, that Brussels came out that they will not be rolling out 5G in their neighborhood, in their city, because I think the Chandler or whatever the heck her name is, Celine, I forgot her last name was, but she was the Chandler of the chairman or whatever of Brussels, right? She said she will not use the Brussels system as guinea pig because she don't know what the radiation is. Because if you don't know what Brussels is, they got a really strict rules that you cannot use a certain amount of radiation within the public, right? And when you look at Brussels, if you don't know what Brussels, you don't know what's in Brussels, the EU is located in Brussels, right? So basically, the EU don't even want 5G in their own headquarters. Let's say that, right? And among other places like Israel, they don't allow 5G too. Right? So if these places don't allow 5G, why is it safe for us to have 5G? I don't understand that, right? Right? So Brussels just announced that 5G will not be put on the public, health on notice or something like that. But yeah, that's what's going on 5G. 5G, and then they're gonna start rolling it out by 2020. It's gonna be everywhere. But I get into further detail in another video I made. You can check it out. It'll explain more about 5G. And within the last week, SHARPTON, race baiting SHARPTON, came out with his National Action Network. Well, this is a farce. His network is a farce with Jesse Jackson, the two biggest race baiter ever out there. And they invited all the Democrats, nothing but Democrats, all right? Nothing but Democrats into their thing, try to pander to the black votes, all right? And you see all the presidential candidate, everyone, I'm talking about everyone, went there. Try to tell black people that reparation, that they're willing to give reparation. Lying to them, basically lying to them. Basically, the Democrat Party are basically lying to them, saying anything just to get the black people vote. All right? Say anything. They think black people are that dumb. All right? Reparations. That thing won't work. It's like Medicare for all. It's not going to work. It's going to break up the country. All right? It's like the Green New Deal, reparations. It's going to break up the country. And who's going to pay for this? I wasn't involved with slavery, so do I have to pay for this? Right? I didn't born during slavery, so why do I have to pay for this? All right? I'm Asian. I'm not even Caucasian. Why do I have to pay for reparations? Right? Who's entitled? And they don't make it clear who's entitled to reparations and who's not entitled to reparations. Is it only the color? Right? The Indian, Asian, are they entitled to reparations as well? Or do they have to pay reparation? Right? Or when they implement this reparation, will the tax increase? Huh? Will our living standard decrease? That's what they don't understand. They say, yes, we'll give you reparation. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. They don't give you full detail. They think the black people are that dumb. Right? You just don't agree to anything without knowing the full detail. You had to ask them full detail. You had to press on. And then the biggest news that came out of this stupid National Action Network is AOC coming out and putting her fake southern accent. You know what I'm talking about? I can't do it right now. How's it going? I'm trying to do my best impression. I can't do it, but it's really cringeworthy. AOC is like Hillary with the hot sauce, or Hillary no waist tired. Hillary, if you've seen that video, AOC, she is a stupid little girl. She's immature. She don't know what she's talking about, right? The only reason why she won her district is because the majority of them are Hispanic, and you know how some Hispanic or black people do they vote for their own race, no matter how bad their policy is. If you resonate with them by your complexion, they'll vote for you, right? It don't work for me, right? I don't vote for an Asian guy based on his complexion. I don't trust all Asian people, right? Just because you're Asian, I don't have to support you, right? And then, with me, when Asian people, oh, you Asian? Oh, like, dude, don't do that. I'm not entitled to kiss your butt just because you're the same complex as me. And that's the thing with the Hispanic and black culture. Just because they're the same skin tone, they have to stick together, even regardless of bad policy, right? That's stupid. That's one way to kill yourself, all right? One way to kill yourself. Just because you resonated with that person because of their complexion, regardless of their policy, you vote for them. That's a dumb way of voting. That's a dumb way to determine anything. All right. I hope this message go across to all the minority people. If a candidate out there is Latino or identified the same race as you, you don't have to vote for them. You gotta look at the issue, their platform. These candidates don't discuss their platform with you. They just discuss. They try to create this rapport with you that race is the number one issue. All right. That's ridiculous. All right. And AOC should be ashamed of herself. Try to pander. Basically, she's pandering to black people. I'm trying to do her. Impersonation. Like, I can't do it, but you gotta watch the video. It's very cringeworthy. It's very cringeworthy, and the National Action Network should be ashamed about themselves. Right? It's buffoonery. Try push this reparation. Is ridiculous. Even the former ACLU spokesperson came out against this. Say it's stupid, retarded, it's race baiting. Al Sharpton, people should not take Al Sharpton seriously. He's a race baiting. He promised something that people can't have, right? And all these networks, right? All the money, they don't go to positive programs. It goes straight into the administrative costs. That's what it is. Don't donate to these organizations. 501c3, don't donate anything to 501c3 at all. All right, it goes to administrative costs. Most of the money doesn't go to any beneficial action at all. It goes to the head honcho, the organizer. All right, that's all where all the money goes. Is this stealing your money? These 501c3 nonprofit organization is a way of stealing money without paying taxes, and we need to get rid of this 501c3. All right, you know who implemented this 501c3? Lyndon Baines Johnson. And what is he? A Democrat, right? Nothing good ever come of a Democrat, right? And who created, I'll put another example, who created the Department of Education? A Democrat, all right? Jimmy Carter, the peanut farmer, Democrat. And the Department of Education are failing, right? Who created the New Deal, welfare? A Democrat, FDR, right? Oh, who created the Federal Reserve? A Democrat. Woodrow Wilson's a Democrat. And look where it got us right now, all right? All these bad policy, bad ideas, all created from the Democratic Party, and which means that you guys should not vote for the Democratic Party because it's gonna be your demise, right? It's gonna be only your demise. If you're still fooled by the Democratic platform, you need to get out the plantation big time, right? And I don't know. That's all the news I got for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Once again, I'm not monetized. You guys could support me by subscribing or follow me on social media, Twitter and Gap.ai. So I'm doing this for the heck of it because I love you guys, and I want to spread informed news, make you guys informed of the issue that truly matters. All right. But once again, I'll talk to you again. See you guys in the next episode, and thank you for listening to the Highly Evolved Podcast. And you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.